This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, to the victor go the spoils as speedsters race around the University Clock Tower. The Winter Garden Glasshouse at a Dunedin Botanic Garden is midway through a transformation. And political parties were out trying to recruit students at Tent City during orientation. Good evening, I'm Holly Buchanan. A Dunedin athletic club has wound back time and resurrected the Clock Tower race. The once annual race around the University of Otago Registry Building has made a return thanks to the local Hill City University Club.
The registry clock at the University of Otago starts to chime midday, and a group of sprinters try to circle the building before the chimes are finished. Two runners managed to beat the bells today, with 19-year-old Cameron Miller, a member of the Hill City University Athletic Club, coming first in a comfortable time of 48.66 seconds. Miller says his mission was to get ahead of fellow runner Jake Paul, who has a better personal best than him.
I sort of just try to get in front of Jake at the first 100, because when you go around the bend, it's good to be in front, because I'd get cut off otherwise. You're restricted.
Athletics Otago chairman Kevin O'Sullivan hopes more than one woman will enter next year, and he says the win going to an upcoming track champion was not unexpected.
We need to make sure in 2020 that we have a few more women running in this one, but certainly the guys, and Cameron Miller is an established athlete anyway, and it's probably not a big surprise that he's pulled this off. So, that was good news. Really.
Race organiser Jared Monk says the event is to give students a chance to do something a bit different.
Just trying to sort of bring something back, a bit more social culture, a bit more fun sort of stuff for the university. Like I'm a huge runner, big advocate for getting out there and exploring and stuff like that. And this is just sort of something to bring students into that sort of environment again.
Despite the sharp corners, the course is comparable to more serious athletic events.
The distance is about 370 metres, and the chimes will run for is about 53.5 seconds. So it equivocates to about a 60-second 400. So it's pretty quick.
Monk hopes the race will once again become an official O-Week event. In Dunedin, for The South Today.
Internal fire alarms repeatedly rang out as firefighters, backed up by 7 fire engines, fought a fire at the Haraway & Sons plant in Green Island last night. 2 blocks of Main South Road were closed by police as firefighters, using high-pressure hose reels and breathing apparatus, fought the blaze. Police say they were called in at 9:50 p.m. to help with traffic control. The fire was eventually extinguished by 11 p.m. Almost 30 years after its last touch-up, the Winter Garden Glasshouse at the Dunedin Botanic Garden is midway through a total refurbishment. The Edwardian-styled glasshouse was built in 1908, and the council says it was in need of a complete makeover inside and out.
The glass is back in place and replanting underway as the extensive refit of Dunedin's Winter Garden progresses.
Yeah, it was a great chance to clear everything out of the glass house and then just have a really good work over the structure itself. So all the glass was removed, all the putty taken out obviously, and that meant we could paint the whole framework where all the windows go in rather than just painting around. So yeah, it's been a massive project doing that.
Winter Garden Glasshouse curator Stephen Bishop says the nearly $400,000 project includes the temperature machines to keep the tropical plants comfortable.
Other things have been done as well. Environmental systems have been looked at and upgraded, paving, drainage, that type of thing as well too. Yeah, so it's been a pretty busy place over the last few months.
It's also a great chance to rearrange the layout and spruce up where the plants are placed within the buildings.
So we're just replanting today. Obviously with the place has been cleared, no plants at all in here. And yeah, we're just putting it back in a different fashion to what it was before, so looking at different themes of the botanical themes, I guess is the easiest way of saying it. So yeah, we're going to have a focus on palms and cycads in the central bed behind me.
Bishop says the makeover is set to be completed mid-March, giving the workforce a tight time frame.
15th of March is opening day, and I've got a very tight time frame up till then. That's actually my last day of completing the work, so yes, yeah, it's going to be touch and go whether we actually get it done on time.
He says contractors will be hard at work to make the deadline, and they're looking forward to opening up the winter garden to the public again. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A drink driver led police on a pursuit in Dunedin last night before taking a wrong turn into a dead-end street. Senior Sergeant Craig Dennison says the 21-year-old man was driving a red Honda and failed to stop in Burn Street, sparking a police pursuit. The driver later turned into Moana Rua Road, which leads to a car park near St Kilda Beach. He then abandoned his car, fleeing into Kettle Park. He was tracked by a police dog unit and located by Constable Marcus Saunders and his young German Shepherd. The driver was charged with dangerous driving, failure to stop and driving with excess breath alcohol. The University of Otago is welcoming new and returning students to the city with the traditional cluster of orientation events. A tent city on the Otago Museum lawn is hosting all manner of clubs and societies, inviting people to join their groups. Political parties are also out trying to recruit students.
Opposing political parties have found something they agree on. Members from the Labour and National parties flying their flags at Tent City on the Otago Museum lawn both say students have become more interested in politics.
Labor's here today to really just say how important it is that people get involved, young people get involved, and that they register to vote.
I think there's been a sort of a plateauing out of the apathy that was existing for a long time. Now there's a genuine interest in their futures and the policies that are going to guide them.
Dunedin-based List MP Michael Woodhouse says while the party is currently in opposition, they're in the policy building phase and seeking people's opinions.
Well, only a couple of weeks ago the party launched their Have Your Say campaign for young New Zealanders. So what we've been encouraging them to do is to go online and let them know what they think good policy for them in the 21st century should be. So we're in the policy building phase and they're very much a part of that.
Dunedin South Member of Parliament Claire Curran says the government is already helping students with a scheme that's set to expand.
Next year it'll become the second year of fees free, so you'll get 2 years of fees free, moving to 3 years in 2024. It's absolutely transformational policy, and it's really about trying to make it easier for people to get extra qualifications to set them up for life.
Woodhouse admits being in opposition is tough, but says the party is in good heart.
Well, look, despite a little drop, we're still polling comfortably in the 40s, and for a party first into opposition, that is unprecedented. So there's no real panic in the party. There's a strong sense of unity behind not only the leader but the leadership team more generally, and the focus is very much on refreshing and re-energising the policy framework. That's what today is all about, getting people engaged and discussing policy.
And Claire Curran says the government is looking ahead to the general election due for the year 2020.
And we're signing people up. People are interested, people are engaged, they're keen to come along to meetings. You know, we want more young people to just know that it's their future.
University of Otago lectures begin on Monday. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, a cyclist suffers moderate injuries in a central Dunedin collision, and 2 Canterbury teens return home with a prestigious beach volleyball title.
ID Dunedin Fashion Week is celebrating 20 years and you're invited to the show. One amazing show, 2 nights, Friday 15 and Saturday 16 March at Dunedin's Regent Theatre. The show features ID International Emerging Designer Awards and a runway show from 16 of New Zealand's leading established designers. Tickets are available from Ticket Direct. Grab a group of friends and book today. For all the details, www.idfashion.co.nz.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Need to rent an EFTPOS? Whether it's just a week or the whole season, maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event, Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, his Garador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
Blimey! At Alex Campbell Menswear, they've got too much great stock. There is 50% off the lot. And Lindsay's decided to extend the sale only until March the 3rd at 4 p.m.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. The New Zealand Transport Agency says a half-kilometre long slip has closed State Highway 6 on the west coast. Electronic signs advising drivers of the closure are at either end of the highway, just south of Hokitika at the top of the road, as well as Makarora and Lake Hawea at the Otago end. The slip is estimated at 400 metres long with debris several metres deep. The NZTA says crews and equipment have been on the site since the early hours of this morning, and the slip is expected to be cleared mid-Monday. A cyclist suffered moderate injuries after a collision with a car in Dunedin this morning. Police say they received a report at 8:30 a.m. regarding an accident at the intersection of Anzac Avenue and Hanover Street. According to St John, one person with moderate injuries was taken to Dunedin Hospital by ambulance. 2 Canterbury teams have come back from the North Island with a prestigious beach volleyball title. Alan Watts and Kate Allen won the under-17 pairs at the secondary school's beach volleyball champs at Mount Mauganui's main beach.
We took a 10 teams up to Mount Maunganui for the Interprovincial League. Our under 17 pairing and the girls won the Interprovincial League. Our under 17 boys claimed bronze. And we also had an under 19 pairing that made the semi-finals. The under 17 Canterbury pairing and the girls won the division or the Interprovincial League last year, so it was fantastic to have back-to-back winners this year. And of course we're going for a three-peat next year.
We hadn't played together before we got paired up, and our coaches just paired us up together because of the same age group, I guess.
Yeah. And we were friends.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to play together. I go to St Andrews College.
Lincoln High School.
We knew of each other through like indoor
and netball.
Yeah, we're pretty good friends in indoor,
Yeah,
I'd say.
definitely.
I play outside hitter.
And I play outside hitter as well.
I love to play Lincoln. They've got really good scrambles, so it's...
Yeah, and our coaches know each other as well, so it's always like a good bond between both schools.
It's competitive, but it's fun at the same time, which I like.
The difference between indoor and beach, obviously the amount of people on the court.
Yeah.
And then I feel like beach is a lot tougher to run around and get touches on the ball.
Beach, you have to be more smart, like with your shots. So we played North Harbour in the final. I had played one of the girls before, so I was nervous because she beat me last time, and she's very smart. The final was the first game where we lost the set.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a shock for us when we lost it. Then we went to the third set and it was strange because it hadn't happened before. Like we had to adapt really quick under the pressure as well.
Yeah, and I feel like because we got up on a 5-0 lead or something, which definitely helped set up for the third set, which is good. To pull ourselves up, we definitely had a big pep talk between the second and third set, and then just kept talking in the third set, and that's what kept us going and didn't give up.
I think our main message was to not like shut down our communication, just to keep like the pressure on them and just say to ourselves, there's no pressure on us, like we just lost the set, but we're still in control of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember they came back and it was 8-all at one point, and I was looking at Alan and I was like, do we call a timeout?
And I was like, no, we're not.
No. We're like, no, we've got this. And then I think we just sided up the next ball.
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
what
we
kept going.
were up 12-8 at one point after that. So they came back to 8-all and then we went up 12-8, which is really good.
It was surreal, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always think about the last point that we did, and it was such a good point because it was like all that we'd practiced.
Everything
like,
just worked
pass,
perfectly, perfect set, and then perfect.
It was a
line
shot
hit.
down the line.
Yeah.
It was just so perfect. I was really happy.
Yeah, it was good to finish on.
Beach volleyball is getting very popular and we have a number of talented athletes here in Christchurch.
We had Mark, who was our coach down at Canterbury, and he didn't come up to nationals. And then we had George, Dina and Talki.
So we also need to do a huge thank you to Dina, who's a Canterbury Volleyball Committee member. She's basically the driving force behind this whole competition up in Tauranga.
Last year there was only one team that went up, so it was really quite a difference to have 10 teams go up this year, and I feel like that was all because of Dina.
All her, yeah.
I'm not sure if would we get put together again?
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah, it would be good to stay together.
After the break on the South Today, a Christchurch man has achieved an impressive gold, and young Cantabrian athletes enjoy a taste of multisport.
Most of us have spots on our skin. That's quite normal. Finding skin cancer as early as possible is key to successful treatment. Book in for a free check of 1 to 2 moles or a comprehensive full body check with the Mole Doctor in Waverley.
The Green Island Medical Centre offers everything for your family's needs. Whether you are travelling or coming in to discuss health symptoms, our medical staff provide the best of care. We offer Manage My Health, making booking an appointment or requesting a repeat prescription a breeze. We welcome families like yours. Give us a call today, phone 03 488 2754.
Dunedin Beds R Us are having a stock clearance sale during the month of February. Up to 50% off New Zealand made sleepyhead beds. Come see Ricky and the team at 505 Princess Street next to Armstrong Prestige. Plenty of parking.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop
full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Need to rent an EFTPOS, whether it's just a week or the whole season? Maybe a pop-up store, a concert or event. Anything's POS have equipment available to suit your needs for retail and hospitality with local support. To rent, lease or buy, contact Anything's POS. Blimey! At Alex Campbell Menswear, they've got too much great stock. There is 50% off the lot. And Lindsay's decided to extend the sale, only until March the 3rd at 4 p.m.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
ID Dunedin Fashion Week is celebrating 20 years and you're invited to the show. One amazing show, 2 nights, Friday 15 and Saturday 16 March at Dunedin's Regent Theatre. The show features ID International Emerging Designer Awards and a runway show from 16 of New Zealand's leading established designers. Tickets are available from Ticket Direct. Grab a group of friends and book today. All the details, www.idfashion.co.nz.
Welcome back. Christchurch man Isaac Geisen has become the first Kiwi to row across the Atlantic Ocean. It took him 70 days to complete his journey of 3,000 nautical miles. Geisen, who had lost an aunt and 2 close friends to suicide, did it to raise funds for mental health awareness. So far, his efforts have raised nearly $50,000. Close on 150 young athletes from around mid-Canterbury competed at the district's annual Primary Schools Sports Association Triathlon. Now in its 10th year, the recently held triathlon is aimed at primary school age pupils to give them a taste of multisport.
Taking part in a genuine triathlon with swimming, running and cycling legs. These youngsters competing in the Mid-Canterbury Primary School Sports Association Triathlon, hosted by Hampstead School.
Today we've got 145 children competing from schools across the Mid-Canterbury district in years 5 through to 8.
Corcoran says the host school in Ashburton is an ideal place for the children to get a taste of multi-sport events.
The purpose of this event is so that the children in our district can experience triathlon in a safe environment. We hold it here at Hampstead School because we are lucky to have the pool so close to our cycle course as well as our run course.
Featuring a 50-metre swim, 3-kilometre bike ride and finishing with a 1.5-kilometre run, Corcoran says the triathlon isn't designed to be ultra-competitive.
It's really about getting out and having a go and having a try at triathlon.
Despite the easygoing nature of the event, previous competitors have included Matt Clue and Bria Roderick, who have gone on to represent New Zealand in a world triathlon stage. In Ashburton, for the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Speedsters raced around the University of Otago Clock Tower as the once annual Round the Clock Tower Sprint returned to orientation this year. Almost 30 years after its last touch-up, the Winter Garden Glasshouse at the Dunedin Botanic Garden is midway through a total refurbishment. And political parties were out trying to recruit youngsters at Tent City during orientation and report students are showing an interest in politics. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Philip.
Yes, hi Holly. A mixed day tomorrow, so lots there. A main feature is about looking back and forward, looking back at the days when Dunedin had a fabulous public transport system, and suggestions of why don't we have that again. So look, that was interest. Golf course today, holes in one are quite rare, but even rarer when they win you a car, so look for that story. I hope the car dealer had some insurance to cover that, because they don't expect the car to be won, but it was. Another nice story about a woman who worked in shop and was dragged in as a model at the last minute to fill in, and it turned out to be the star of the show.
Wow.
Now, SIT, Southern Institute of Technology, campaign started today to save it in the face of all the tertiary changes that is proposed by the government. And we have a lovely story from Mahino, Liam Bartley, Special Olympics, off swimming, only South Island swimmer, off to Abu Dhabi.
Ah, okay.
And just developing a big story to do with Lime scooters and Dunedin, and we're just reporters are working on that at the moment. So
watch the space.
Watch the space, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Phil. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Molnap.
Beginning with the southern view of a young family enjoying a picnic in the Octagon. Looking at the situation, a cold weekend lies ahead with gusty southerly winds developing and showers, but it's set to clear later on Sunday, just in time for the working week. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect a cloudy day with highs of 18 degrees. Across to the northeast now, Nelson and Blenheim, some cloud and highs of 23 degrees for you both. In Canterbury, plan for a wet day and an 18-degree high for Kaikoura. Christchurch also damp and due for 17, while Ashburton is in for 16 degrees and showers. In the southern towns, variable winds and rain later is forecast for this region, with the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore all reaching 14-degree highs. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, moderate southwesterlies and a few showers are the order of the day. Wanaka and Alexandra are aiming for 16, Queenstown 15 degrees, while Te Anau should expect fresh southwesterlies, rain and 14 degrees. To the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect variable winds and rain later, with 16 for Timaru and 15 for Oamaru. Twizel and Omarama are due to have moderate southwesterlies, some showers later and highs of 16 degrees. In Dunedin, showers clearing tonight with southwesterlies dying out and an overnight low of 10 degrees. Cloudy with a few brief light showers tomorrow. It'll be colder with southerlies, a high of 14 degrees and an overnight low of 9. Showers clearing during the day on Sunday with fresh cold southerlies decreasing, looking at a high of 12 and a low of just 5 degrees. And in Invercargill, showers tonight with southwesterlies dying out with an overnight low of 9 degrees. Cloudy tomorrow with showers and fresh gusty cool southwesterlies, aiming for a high of 13. Showers clearing and sunny periods increasing on Sunday with fresh cold southerlies easing, looking at a high of 11 degrees and a low of 6. That's it for the South Today for this week. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Enjoy your weekend. Do join us again on Monday. Good night.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.